Have you ever felt like you're drifting in the ocean without a compass to guide you? Days when you feel like life is pushing you from one challenge to another with no stop and no safe harbor in sight? Have you ever wondered, how can I stand firm amidst life's storms? We have all been through moments like that. Moments when everything around seems to collapse, and we wonder how to maintain inner peace, how to keep moving forward when everything seems to be against us. But what if I told you that there is a proven method over thousands of years to help us weather those storms? A philosophy of life that can turn adversity into opportunity, transform the greatest challenges into the most valuable lesson. This philosophy is not an ancient secret lost in time, but a path walked by great minds, Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Stoicism is not a set of abstract theories, but a system of practical principles that help us cultivate inner strength, master our emotions and thoughts, live a meaningful and fulfilling life. In today's world, where we face constant pressure, stress, and change, this philosophy has become more relevant than ever. Would you like to know how to turn difficulties into motivation, how to live a life without regrets, how to find true peace even in the most challenging times? In this video, we will explore together the 10 core Stoic lessons, precious gems of wisdom distilled over time. These lessons are not just empty theories, but powerful tools that you can apply right away in your daily life. Join me as we go through each lesson, each principle, and each inspiring story to master your life. Get ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery and change your life, because only when we know how to master ourselves can we master the world around us. Hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to never miss a lesson on this journey. Get ready to become the strongest version of yourself with Stoic philosophy. Lesson 1. Focus on what you can control. Life is always full of unpredictability. Sometimes we feel like we are being swept away by a torrent of events beyond our control. We worry about the future, regret the past, and feel pressured by things outside our grasp. But do you know that it is precisely in these seemingly chaotic moments Stoic philosophy offers a simple yet profoundly deep piece of advice? Focus on what you can control. Epictetus, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." We cannot control everything that happens around us, from changing weather, economic fluctuations, to other people's behavior. But we can control our thoughts, emotions, and how we respond to those things. Think about this for a moment. Every day we face unwanted situations, a failed project, an argument with a colleague, or even a minor accident on the road. Our initial reactions might be anger, sadness, or worry. But if we pause and reflect, do these emotions help us solve the problem, or do they just add more stress and fatigue? In life, there is a simple but extremely important truth that we often overlook. We cannot control what happens around us. We can control our reactions. This is a core principle of Stoicism, and it is also a lesson we need to practice every day. Imagine you are on your way to an important meeting and suddenly get stuck in traffic. You feel your heart start to race, your mind becomes clouded with worries. I'll be late. What will the boss think? Or, how will others judge me? These thoughts begin to dominate your mind, making you more stressed and distracted. But if you pause for a moment and ask yourself, can I control this traffic situation? The answer is clearly no. So if we cannot control the situation, what can we control? The answer is how we react to it. You can choose to be angry, annoyed, and let these negative emotions affect your entire day. Or you can choose to stay calm, accept the situation, and use this time to better prepare for the meeting, or even listen to an audiobook you love. The way we choose to react is what truly makes the difference. This story reminds me of Viktor Frankl, famous psychologist and author of the book Man's Search for Meaning. During his imprisonment in Nazi concentration camps, Frankl faced extremely harsh conditions and tremendous losses. He lost his entire family and witnessed unimaginable brutality. However, Frankl discovered that even in the harshest circumstances, we can still control our thoughts and attitudes. He wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's way." Frankl chose to keep his spirit strong and seek meaning in his suffering, and that is what helped him survive. This shows us that no matter how difficult the situation you are facing is, what matters is how you choose to react. So how can we focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot? 1. Clearly identify what is within your control. Whenever faced with a difficult situation, pause and ask yourself, is this within my control? The answer is no, let it go. 2. Develop the habit of the 3-second pause. When you feel stressed or angry, pause for 3 seconds. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, am I overreacting? Is there a better way to handle this? 3. Keep a daily control journal. Every night before bed, write down what you felt was beyond your control during the day and what you could control. Focus on improving what you can change. Have you ever experienced a situation that you couldn't control, but still let it affect you? If so, what will you do differently next? When we learn to focus on what we can control and let go of what is beyond our control, we begin to feel more at peace and empowered in life. But to truly master ourselves, we need to learn to control our emotions and thought. This brings us to the next lesson. Lesson 2. Master your emotions and thoughts. You ever felt caught up in a whirlwind of negative emotions? Criticism from your boss, an argument with a friend, or a small failure can cause us to lose our temper and let our emotions rule the entire day. But Stoicism teaches us that emotions are not the enemy. They are signals that need to be listened to and controlled. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." This emphasizes that often our negative emotions do not come from the event itself, but from how we interpret and react to it. Think back to the last time you received criticism from your boss. Your first reaction might be anger or feeling hurt. But if you pause for a moment and think, what is really making me angry? The words of my boss, or how I interpret those words? If you change your perspective, you might see that the criticism is an opportunity to learn and improve. Imagine our emotions as waves on the ocean. There are days when the sea is calm, but there are also days when there are big waves and storms. We cannot stop the waves, but we can learn how to steer the boat, cope with them. Similarly, we cannot completely control our emotions, but we can learn to recognize, understand, and adjust them. This is especially important when we think about what happens in our minds. Negative thoughts, dark imaginations of the future, or obsessions with past mistakes can make us sink into anxiety and stress. But Stoicism teaches us that we do not have to believe every thought that our mind presents. We can choose to filter, control, and even transform them into more positive and helpful thought. This story reminds me of Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Roman emperors and also a Stoic philosopher. Despite facing numerous difficulties, from wars, plagues, to betrayals, he always maintained calmness and clarity. One of the most important lessons he left behind is, do not let your mind be distracted by initial impressions. Marcus advises that when we encounter a situation that triggers strong emotions, pause for a moment and ask, is this really as bad as it seems? Is there another way to look at it? It was his patience and ability to control emotions that helped him overcome the greatest challenges and become one of the most respected leaders in history. So how can we effectively master our emotions and thoughts? 1. Practice mindfulness meditation. Every day, spend at least 10 minutes meditating, focusing on your breath and feeling your body. When negative thoughts arise, gently acknowledge them and return to focusing on your breath. This helps you become more aware of your emotions without being swept away by them. 2. Keep a thought and emotion journal. Every night, write down the strong emotions you experienced during the day and the thoughts associated with them. Then ask yourself, is there another way to look at this issue? This helps you practice positive thinking and improve calmness. Breathe. Use the ask yourself, answer yourself method. When you feel worried or angry, pause and ask yourself, what is really happening? Why do I feel this way? Is there another way to explain this issue? This technique helps you understand the root cause of emotions and adjust your reaction. Have you ever been caught in an emotional whirlpool that you couldn't get out of? If so, what will you do next time to better control your emotions? When we learn to master our emotions and thoughts, we not only feel more peaceful, but also have the ability to live more fully in the present. This leads us to the next lesson. Lesson 3. Live in the present. We are often caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past. Have you ever wondered why it is so difficult for us to live fully in the present moment? Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once advised, do not let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. Stoicism teaches us that instead of worrying about what will come or regretting what has passed, we should focus on the present moment, because the present is the only thing we truly own. When we learn to live in the present, we not only find peace, but also discover the deep values that each moment brings. Think about the moments you missed because your mind was elsewhere. Maybe you were sitting next to a loved one at dinner, but instead of enjoying that moment, you were worried about a meeting tomorrow. Or perhaps you were walking in the park on a beautiful day, but instead of feeling the beauty around, you were caught up in negative thoughts about what happened last week. Stoicism encourages us to live mindfully. That is, to be fully attentive to the present without letting our mind wander. When we do this, we not only enjoy life more, but also reduce unnecessary anxiety and stress. A story from Marcus Aurelius's life may illustrate this lesson more clearly. During his reign, Marcus faced numerous great challenges, wars, plagues, and betrayals, but despite all that, he always maintained his calm and focused on the present. He often wrote in his book Meditations that the present is the only thing we truly have, and it is more valuable than any moment that has passed or has yet to come. For Marcus, focusing on the present helped him make wise decisions and maintain inner peace amidst the storms of life. This is a lesson we can learn and apply in our daily lives. So how can we live more fully in the present? 1. Practice daily mindfulness. Spend at least 10 minutes each day focusing on your breath and feeling all your senses. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the present. This helps you reduce anxiety and live more fully in the present. 2. Savor each moment. Focus on the small details in daily life. When you eat, enjoy each bite. When you walk, feel each step. This helps you enjoy life more and reduce stress. 3. Limit technology use. Set aside time without using your phone or computer for at least an hour a day to focus on activities that don't require technology, like reading, journaling, or meditating. This helps you maintain inner peace and live in the present. Do you often worry about the future or regret the past? How can you focus more on the present and enjoy life more fully? When we live in the present, we enjoy life more and appreciate the value of each moment. And from there, we also develop a deep gratitude for what we have. Let's learn about the importance of gratitude in the next section. Lesson 4. Practice gratitude. Our lives are often driven by what we want to have, the goals we want to achieve. We are busy chasing new achievements, but sometimes forget that there are many good things already present in our lives. Gratitude, one of the core values that Stoic philosophy emphasizes, helps us see and appreciate what we already have. Marcus Aurelius, one of the famous Stoic philosophers, wrote in his diary, "Be grateful for everything you have, even the smallest things." When we practice gratitude, we not only recognize the value of what we often take for granted, but also feel happier and less pressured by what we don't have. Imagine a day when you decide to start practicing gratitude. You wake up in the morning and instead of thinking about what you haven't achieved, you ask yourself, what can I be grateful for a day. Could be a delicious breakfast, an interesting book, or simply a beautiful day. When you start looking at life through the lens of gratitude, you will find that the world around you becomes more beautiful. Every moment becomes more valuable. This story reminds me of Seneca, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers. He once said, "Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others." Seneca believed that when we are grateful, we not only feel happier, but also become more patient, compassionate, and loving. In difficult times, when he was exiled and lost all his possessions, instead of being sad and despairing, Seneca found solace in gratitude. He was grateful for the lessons that life taught him, for the freedom he had in his thoughts, and for the good friends who were always by his side. It was gratitude that helped him overcome the greatest challenges and live a meaningful life. So how can we practice gratitude every day? 1. Keep a daily gratitude journal. Every night before going to bed, write down 3 things you are grateful for that day. This not only helps you focus on the positives, but also helps you build an optimistic and appreciative attitude. 2. Practice gratitude with others. Take time to express thanks to those around you. This not only makes them feel appreciated, but also helps you build better relationships and feel happier. 3. Focus on the good in every situation. In any circumstance, find something to be grateful for. This will help you maintain an optimistic spirit and calmness in every situation. Is there something you're grateful for but never realized? How can you start practicing gratitude from today? When we practice gratitude, we not only see life as more beautiful, but also become stronger in the face of challenges. This leads us to another important principle of Stoicism: embrace adversity and challenges. Lesson 5. Embrace adversity and challenges. Have you ever faced challenges that seemed insurmountable? Moments when you feel like everything is against you and there seems to be no way out? The reality is, in life, no one can avoid adversity. But instead of fearing or avoiding it, Stoicism teaches us a different approach: to embrace adversity as an inevitable part of life and see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "Adversity is an opportunity to test oneself." In life, not everything always goes smoothly. Challenges and difficulties often arise, sometimes unexpectedly, making us feel overwhelmed and lost. But it is precisely in these moments that Stoicism encourages us to embrace adversity like a friend who can teach us valuable lessons. Imagine your life as a boat rowing on the ocean. The sea has calm days, but there are also days with big waves. You cannot control the waves, but you can control how you row the boat. You can choose to fight against the waves, or you can learn to go with the flow and use their strength to propel you further. Embracing adversity does not mean passively accepting what happens to you. Instead, it means facing difficulties proactively, finding ways to learn from them, and using them to develop yourself. When you look at challenges from this perspective, they no longer seem frightening. They become opportunities to test your perseverance, courage, and adaptability. Think of the story of Thomas Edison, the great American inventor. Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the electric light bulb. When asked about these failures, he did not see them as negative, but instead said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison did not see adversity as an obstacle, but as valuable lessons to get closer to success. Edison's story reminds us that it is not challenges or failures that define us, but how we react to them. If we choose to embrace adversity and seek lessons from it, we will become stronger and more resilient. So how can we embrace adversity more steadfastly and constructively? 1. View challenges as learning opportunities. Whenever you encounter difficulties, ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? This helps you shift from a negative mindset to a positive and ready-to-learn attitude. 2. Practice perseverance and determination. When facing challenges, remind yourself that every challenge can be overcome with perseverance and determination. Remember, There is no success without challenges. 3. Record challenges and how you overcame them. This not only helps you learn from your experiences, but also builds confidence in your ability to overcome challenges. Recording also helps you realize that adversity will pass, and you will become stronger after each time you overcome it. Have you ever faced a big challenge in your life? How did you overcome it? And what did you learn from that experience? When we embrace adversity and challenges, we not only learn patience and courage, but also find deep meaning in the most difficult things. But to live a meaningful life, we also need to live according to our values. Let's explore this in the next session. Lesson 6. Live according to your values. Have you ever asked yourself, what truly matters to you? We often get caught up in the flow of life, chasing success, fame, money, forgetting to live according to our core values. But living true to your values is one of the most important things to truly feel the meaning of life. Socrates, one of the great philosophers of ancient Greece, lived a life he never regretted because he always acted based on his core values. When sentenced to death, he refused to escape because it would go against his principles of honesty and intellectual freedom. He chose death rather than live without being true to his values. Think about the values you hold most dear. It could be honesty, fairness, compassion, or love. Are you living according to those values? Or are you getting caught up in the flow of things that don't really matter? Societal expectations, work pressures, or fleeting desires? Stoicism encourages us to take time for self-reflection and clearly define our core values. When we know who we are and what truly matters to us, we will make better decisions, and our lives will become more meaningful. A notable example of living true to one's values comes from the story of Socrates. When sentenced to death for his teachings, which were considered a threat to social order, Socrates refused the chance to escape. He accepted death because he believed that living by abandoning his values was worse than dying. Socrates lived and died with the belief that honesty and intellectual freedom were more important than life itself. Socrates' story reminds us that sometimes living true to your values isn't easy, but it is always the path to enduring peace and happiness. So how can we live according to our values every day? 1. Identify your core values. Take time to reflect and write down the values you consider most important. This helps you better define your direction and goals in life. 2. Check your actions. Whenever making an important decision, ask yourself, does this decision align with my values? This helps you stay true to your principles and avoid being swayed by unnecessary temptation. 3. Practice honesty with yourself. Don't let external pressures cause you to lose your values. Always be honest with yourself and live according to what you believe in. Have you ever had to make a tough decision that involved your values? What did you do, and how did you feel afterward? Living true to your values is the foundation for a meaningful and lasting happy life. But to keep growing, we need to learn and expand our knowledge. Let's explore this in the next section. Lesson 7. Never stop learning and growing. Have you ever asked yourself, what have I learned today? Life is a never-ending school, and we, each of us, are its perpetual students. Stoicism, a philosophy that has existed for thousands of years, teaches us that continually learning and growing is not just a choice, but a responsibility. Seneca, one of the famous Stoic philosophers, once said, "Read not to contradict and refute, nor to believe and take for granted, but to weigh and consider." This is a reminder that learning is not limited to books, but also from the people we meet, the experiences we go through. Every day is an opportunity for us to learn something new, expand our horizons, and become better versions of ourselves. Think about the times you felt stuck, not knowing what to do next. It could be when you just graduated and are looking for a job, or when you're facing a major problem in your personal life. At times like these, learning and expanding knowledge is the key to overcoming difficulty. Learning is not just limited to reading books or taking courses. It also includes listening to others, learning from your own mistakes, and being open to new ideas. That's why Stoicism values never stopping personal development, because the world is always changing, and we need to adapt and advance so as not to be left behind. Famous story about never stopping learning comes from the life of Cato the Elder, a Roman politician and orator. Although he was old, Cato began learning Greek, a language he considered essential for a deeper understanding of philosophy and science. He never thought he was too old to learn something new. Cato's story reminds us that it is never too late to learn and grow. So how can we never stop learning and growing? 1. Read every day. Spend at least 20 minutes reading a beneficial book. This not only helps you expand your knowledge, but also sharpens your thinking and analytical skill. 2. Take courses and workshops. Try online courses or attend local classes on topics you are interested in. This is an opportunity to learn from others and develop yourself. Find a mentor or a learning community. Connect with teachers or mentors who can help you grow. Join book clubs, study groups, or online communities to interact, share, and learn from others. Do you have a passion for learning something new? What have you done to nurture your thirst for knowledge? Please share with us. Never stopping learning helps us expand our horizons and become stronger. But to truly feel the meaning of life, we need to help others. Let's explore this in the next section. Lesson 8. Help others. Have you ever wondered what the true purpose of life is? For Stoic philosophers, life is not just about living for ourselves, but also about serving the community and helping others. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Man is not born for himself alone." When we help others, we not only bring happiness and joy to them, but also enrich our own lives. Imagine a world where everyone only cares about themselves. There would be no support, no compassion, and no connection between people. We might feel more lonely and empty than ever. But when we open our hearts, help, and share with others, we build a strong and united community where everyone feels important. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that helping others is not just an act of kindness, but also part of human responsibility. Because when we help others, we are actually helping ourselves become better, stronger, and more loving. Remember the story of Marcus Aurelius, the famous Roman emperor, not only for his leadership, but also for his kindness and fairness. He devoted his life to serving his people and building a prosperous empire. Marcus Aurelius always put the interests of the people first, always willing to help and care for those around him. This not only made the Roman Empire stronger, but also created a united society where everyone felt safe and cared for. So how can we help others effectively? 1. Join volunteer activity. Find charitable organizations or local communities to participate in. This not only helps those in need, but also makes you feel more connected to your community. 2. Help those around you. Start with small things in your daily life, like helping an elderly person cross the street, or listening to a friend's story who is having a hard time. Practice kindness. Try to do a good deed every day to spread kindness. This not only makes you feel satisfied, but also creates a positive change in your community. Have you ever helped someone without expecting anything in return? How did you feel after doing that? When we help others, we not only enrich their lives, but enrich our own. But to help others effectively, we need to take good care of ourselves first. This brings us to the next lesson. Lesson 9. Self-care. Self-care is not just about eating healthy or exercising regularly, but also includes taking care of mental health. Stoicism teaches us that we need to be healthy both physically and mentally to live a happy and meaningful life. As Seneca once said, "Health is the greatest of all possession. Contentment is the greatest of all virtues." Think of your body and mind like a car. If you never change the oil, maintain it, or check the engine, your car will soon break down. Our bodies and minds are the same. If we don't take care of them, they will gradually wear out and lose their ability to function well. Self-care is not just about avoiding illness, but also about living a fuller life. When we feel healthy and comfortable, we have more energy to face life's challenges, to help others, and to pursue our goals and dreams. Think of the story of a marathon runner. They can't run 42 kilometers without careful preparation. They need to eat well, train regularly, and rest properly. Similarly, in life, we need to take good care of ourselves to be able to run the long distance. So how can we take care of ourselves in the best way? 1. Exercise regularly. Spend at least 30 minutes a day moving, whether it's walking, jogging, or doing yoga. This helps you maintain health and energy for a healthy life. 2. Practice meditation or yoga. Start with short sessions and gradually increase the time. This not only helps you relax, but also enhances mental health and concentration. 3. Eat healthily. Pay attention to your diet, choose nutritious food, and stay away from things that are not good for your health. This helps you maintain optimal weight and health. Do you spend enough time taking care of yourself each day? If not, what can you do to improve that? When we take care of ourselves, we not only prepare better to face challenges, but also feel more content and happy with our lives. But life is not just about taking care of yourself, but also about finding its purpose and meaning. Let's explore this in the final section. Lesson 10. Find purpose and meaning in life. Why do we live? That is a big question many have asked themselves. Stoicism helps us discover that the purpose and meaning of life do not come from the achievements or possessions we have, but from how we live and face life every day. Epictetus once said, "Life is like a play. It is not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters." Everyone's purpose in life may differ. Some find meaning in work, others in family, or in helping others. The important thing is that we must find out what really matters to us and live in a way that aligns with those values. When we live with purpose, we feel stronger, more steadfast, and happier. We are no longer swept away by trivial things, but focus on what truly matters. Think about the life of Nelson Mandela. He faced many years of imprisonment, but that did not prevent him from finding purpose and meaning in his life. Mandela used his time in prison to reflect and develop his core values, and when free, he devoted his life to the freedom and equality of his country. So how can we find purpose and meaning in our lives? 1. Reflect on personal values. Take time to reflect and write down the values that are most important to you. This will help you understand more clearly what you really want to pursue in life. 2. Set clear and meaningful goals. Set goals that align with your values and focus on achieving them. This helps you feel that your life has direction and meaning. 3. Practice patience and perseverance. Life can be full of challenges, but when you know what you're doing and why, you will find it easier to overcome difficult. Have you found your life's purpose? If not, where will you start to find meaning and purpose in life? So we have journeyed through the 10 core Stoic lessons, principles that have existed for thousands of years but remain relevant to this day. These lessons are not empty theories or philosophies confined to ancient books. They are practical tools, sincere advice, and invaluable guides to help us face life's challenges. But remember, Stoicism is not a magic pill that can solve every problem instantly. It is a journey of learning, practice, and growth. A journey that we must patiently and persistently pursue every day. By applying these lessons to daily life, you not only cultivate inner strength, but also learn how to live a more meaningful and peaceful life. Ask yourself, am I living true to the values I believe in? Am I controlling my reactions to adversity? Am I grateful for the small good things in this life? If the answer is not yet, don't worry. Start today, step by step, because every step is valuable on the journey to becoming the best version of yourself. We cannot change everything around us, but we can change how we perceive and react to them. And that is the key to mastering our lives. Stoic philosophy not only helps us face challenges, but also helps us find peace within our hearts, no matter what the outside world is like. So what are you waiting for? Start applying these Stoic lessons to your daily life today. Share with us your Stoic journey. What lessons have you applied? What challenges have you overcome? And what have you learned from them? Leave a comment below, and let's build a community of modern Stoics, strong and inspiring. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to not miss any future videos. Let's continue this journey together, because you deserve a life full of meaning and true happiness. Thank you for joining us in this video. Remember, the power to change your life is in your hands. See you in the next videos.